everybody, back to another video. I'm here with a brand new series. Yes, it's Factorio. It's another survival and build game like in our genre of the BitCubes server and community, because we like building and surviving at the same time. This game is practically the same. We are playing the modded version, so we have installed different mods. For example, the greenhouse mod. Most of the mods we play are Bob's mods. There are just single additions that gives, for example, let's see if I have an example. The warehousing mod we also have for more storage around here, and some minor tweaks to, for example, trains, to make them work better. But for the rest of the things we do not have any change. If you think I'm sounding a little bit different than every previous video, that's because I'm not wearing a headset anymore. I'm using a standalone mic on my desk. So basically, let's start off. Factorio is a game where you need to survive on a planet where you have stranded on. So if I take a look at, well, my game here, I just started. This is my own BitCubes server, which is running continuously. Unless nobody's on, it goes to pause. But if somebody's on, then it goes forward again. So it's pretty much important. I'm playing with one friend, or one of my admins, and he is over here. This is his base. I can zoom in and see what his base looks like. That's his base, and it works for him. And this is my base, and we have set up a trade route for each other because he has a lot of copper and I only have iron here. The meaning of this game is that you start off with just one furnace and one, well, how do you call it? An inserter. You start up with a burner inserter and with a furnace, just a stone furnace. And with some plates. So most of the times I start by making tools for myself, the iron axe, and then when I do that I can start mining my own stuff. So for example, I can start mining manually the iron ore and trees and such. Oh, and I also got one of the burner mining drill on startup. Anyways, when you place those, the meaning of this game is to automate as much as you can, because you cannot keep running as fast as you normally would to get everything to everywhere. For example, this farm over here is basically a wood farm, which makes use of the Bob's greenhousing. So basically the greenhouse mod allows me to set wood to saplings, and the saplings into this buffer chest that goes into the belt itself. Well, basically filling all my greenhouses with the seedlings like it should be. And let me turn something on construction. And then they make wood again with the seedlings that goes out, and then the circle is complete. They make more wood with less seedlings. So basically you make an excess of wood for the single seedling. For example, one seedling is 2 wood, something like that one. And then the excess goes into this buffer chest and directly on this belt, which is powering the boilers. They get water from the water source up on the left and turn them into steam. And the steam that I'm using goes into these pipes over here and into these steam generators. So they will turn off the steam into power source, which we need for the base. On the first time you start the game, you do not have a power source yet. You need to burn a lot of wood, or burn coal, or any other fuel source you can find. This mod pack has a lot of fuel sources and a lot of minerals on the card. For example, we have ruby ore, sapphire ore, emerald, amethyst, topaz, diamond, and here we have gold ore and nickel and such. They are not normally in a normal game, but it's fun to play because you have more to do than just normal iron, copper, and those things. This will also add a lot of new fluids, which causing the pure waters to be there, water electrolysis and more, and different new types of bearings and such. And it changed the crafting recipes in the default vanilla game to something cool. And yes, finally it's there. I can finally make a car. The other thing you need to do in the game is do research. Research is a pretty much important thing, otherwise you cannot go anywhere. To be short, you must process items to science packs. I have 2 science packs types here, research available for me. And they need, for example, science pack 1 needs 5 seconds to make 1 science pack in your inventory at least. And 1 gear. And a gear you can create with iron plates. So basically you generate a chain reaction. So over here I have a setup. I'm producing with copper cables, as you can see here. Then the copper cables go all the way to the left to this machine, which also gets iron plates from this belt over here. And then it can make electronic circuits needed for all electronic devices. Then you have on the right here a machine that only needs iron plates and makes those gears. Both those gears and iron plates go into this belt and the chips on this belt. And they get loaded into the machines that needs those ingredients. So you get basically a pyramid system where you have, basically everything you need onto the right belt. So you need the inserter to move items from one belt to another. If you have 2 separate belts, or out of a machine or into a machine that produces something. So basically it's hard thinking and thinking in front of everything else. This machine over here is producing engines. Those engines I will need to make a car, which I will be waiting on for a very long time now. But I'm still searching where I left it. There it is. That's it. 20 iron plates. So I get a buffer here that picks it up from the belts. Or in case I need something. I make 4 cars. So that I can give my admin also a car. So we can drive faster to and from each other. But anyways, that's basically the game. You can scroll out pretty far to overview an area around you. But that's not a lot of surviving at the moment. Well, there is surviving. If you see those red dots on the map, they are everywhere. And the further you go, the bigger they get. Those house creatures that attack you if your pollution you generate with your factory is over a certain amount. If I take a look at the card, you see a red area overlaying the map here. I can turn it off, by the way. See? Now it's off. Now it's on. That's the pollution I generate. If that pollution over here, the red area, goes over one of the red zones over here or here, those 2 bases will start attacking me. So basically I have to defend myself, beside the fact that I need to try to make a way to claim more ground. So I need to destroy their bases as well to prevent me from getting overrun and locked up with no items anymore. Sounds strange, but it's not strange. You can research a lot of things. I've also installed an aircraft mod, but normally you only have a car or a tank available to you as a vehicle. Those vehicles need fuel to run, so I'm inserting wood into their fuel. It's a furnace inside a car which it runs on, and now I can add that one, and if I enter it now, I can start driving. See? It's a bit delayed with driving because it's a hosted server, not locally. But it works very well. Little bit delays is in there, but oh, I'm driving against trees. Your car can be destroyed in many ways. It can be attacked by those enemies. It can also be damaged by driving into a tree, for example, or into stones that are above the ground. There can be many things, and you can also repair them with repair packs. Those repair packs are pretty much has some expense, but if you have them, you can click on any item or building that's damaged and you repair it. sooner or later you can start making more and more and more features that house the right things. So I'm currently driving towards my friend's base to get some copper from him, as I made an agreement that I can get copper when I need it. And he can get iron with me when he needs it. I don't have much iron with me, otherwise I have delivered it to him, but anyways, in the game you have also fluids. Fluids is basically liquids, and over here, for example, we have oil. Those oil we can mine with pumps. So if this one is for water, but you also have one for oil, and you can pump it out of the ground, and then you can process it to light oil, heavy oil, and petroleum. Sounds advanced. Is not as advanced as you think. This car is going way faster than I can drive. Oh, whew. Closely to almost against those electric poles. Anyways, I'm here now. Can I upgrade this chest for him? Yes, I can. There we go. And then instead I will steal some of his coal. You can eventually make electric mines. These are electric mines. I have some as well, but mine have buffers. So basically a chest inside of these. That's another mod we have installed, so we can make buffer miners. But anyways, these will mine until their ground is empty. You can see the skull on the ground, and they will start mining it until they don't have it anymore. So I am helping my friend at the moment by removing and replacing his mines to the correct position, because if they are empty they will not reward you anymore with anything. So so there we go, everything's running again. Anyways, his base is down here where you see the electric line running, and I'm driving against a tree again. The controls are pretty annoying for the car, but the tank later on is way easier to control. And basically you need to drive against trees until they are gone, but you are damaging your own car by doing that. Well, anyways, I'm here again. Come on, a little bit forward. Thank you. Seriously, I'm driving against and he is electric pole. I hate driving these cars. Anyways, this series is all about playing Factorio on this server. I've announced lately that we have support for new games instead of all the old only, and I thought, why not? So I have been working very hard to make it possible to record without a headset on, because I'm getting sick and annoyed of the fact that I have to keep a headset on and my speaker on and my headset sound on at the same time. It's a bit annoying, and I started searching for the right mic, so I'm hoping that this mic is way better than you expect of me with my channel size, but yeah, well, it's something. Nice thing of a car, it has a trunk, so I can put stuff in there. So I can choose, for example, to put all the copper that I'm taking from him, because he has more than enough on storage. So I'm gonna take it, and his factories produce more every so many seconds. So basically we have a backlog over here, and the backlog is pretty big. In one miner only, I've gave him this buffer mines. He has a lot of stacks with 200, which is also a mod that increases the size. Normally it's 100 max size, but yeah, well, it's there. Emptying my inventory back to it. You have 3 inventories in this game. You have the backpack, the tool belt, and the weapon slot, the equipment slots. The equipment slot is on the right, on bottom of my screen. If I'm in a vehicle, it changes my equipment slots to, yeah, well, basically that. It changed the equipment slots to whatever I'm in. And come on, yes, I'm free. Well, basically you can see that I have 23 ammunition well, basically magazines in my car to shoot enemies if they attack me inside this car. If you are playing in a multiplayer server, you can also have a passenger inside that controls the gun beside you driving. So one is driving, the other one is shooting. And I see something I want to have. So I have now exited the vehicle, and you can see that I have one tool slot, an armor slot, and 3 weapon slots. The first weapon slot and the second one are for guns. You can hold one handgun and one machine gun. I currently only have a handgun, but if I'm correct, I can make a machine gun already. I can also put a shotgun on one of these slots as well, if I find it useful, but I still don't like the way the shotgun works because I cannot react fast enough to shoot the enemy if I'm stuck in a hole or something, or ow. It's dark. It becomes day and night in this game as well, so sometimes you... Once again I drive in a tree. Please guys, do not let me behind a steering wheel in real life because I break everything this way. Oh my god. Long way around. Oh. And once again I drove against a tree. But if I'm correct, I'm there. Yay! And I'm turning around and going backwards. Oh, I'm driving. Well, good. Let it be so. Repair, repair. So, that's better. Anyways, I can pick everything out of the trunk again and put it in the right facility for the factory to run on. Because I have a left side and a right side. I made it that way that the left side is for anything else than metal. Because my base is purely made to process a lot of metal at the moment, iron. So that's what it's processing. And now, if I'm correct, you can see all the ovens slowly turning on and making copper. On the left and on the right it's still making iron. But I can also see that some furnaces of mine are without fuel. So let me get some coal. I normally fill them with wood because I have a lot of wood on stock. But because I have some coal now, I can better put that one in, because all of you have different burn times and wood is the slowest way to burn. So basically, if I hold my mouse on this one, you can see that it has a fuel value of 8 megajoules and produces a 200% pollution. So yeah, the difference is that coal produces more pollution than, for example, wood. If I just burn wood, I have less pollution. But because I'm now using coal, my red area on the right is expanding, as you can see, to new areas over here. Soon enough it will reach that critical point that it will hit the base of the enemy. And sorry about the background sound, I'm living with my window open because it's very hot outside. Well, there is no way and no thing to return from an attack of the enemy, because the enemy, if it starts attacking, it keeps attacking until the pollution is gone. But if you have the pollution over there, it's pretty hard to get it gone. I will turn this one into a stone furnace at the moment. I need to burn raw stone into stone bricks, which you can see here on the belts. And when I have this one, I can create walls. Walls are basically a basic line of defense, which I upgrade with some of my turrets that I also create. So I have a turret here and I can place it down. But these turrets have something special because they do not need power. They need magazines, guns, pellets, you know, those things. And I have a lot of walls to cover with those turrets, so I hope that I can be quick enough to make sure that I can get this whole area closed off and locked off. Because basically I need to find a stone source so I can get a lot of stone. So what I'm now gonna do is equip my car with coal, and if I exit the vehicle and wait a few moments, I have also magazines with ammo to put in that car. Got multiple cars. And I can see here another furnace empty. Let's fill everything here up. This little small furnace area over here is smelting iron 2 times. Why it does that is because it creates the steel bars. If you smelt iron plates, it generates steel. And steel plates are required by many of these factories. For example, this one, an engine factory. So yeah, well that's that. And I think I wrap it up for this episode. The next episode I will start searching for a stone source. And I will try to continue on with what I'm doing. And I hope to see you in the next episode. And maybe we will find my friend online as well soon enough. I thank you all for watching and I see you all next time. Good luck!